Inside you, there are 6 Triumvirs, and none of them know what the hell is going on. Inside you, there are 6 Triumvirs fighting for supremacy. So, which Triumvir are you? That is the question we're going to answer today. This is Historia Ex Unscripted, meaning I'm just gonna talk about something I thought about 5 minutes ago, and we're just gonna have to sit with that. So I don't know why, but I woke up with the 2 wolves image in my head, and well, I started thinking, what if there are 6 faces of the 6 members of the 2 Triumvirates there? Which one is you? And well, why would one be a kind of person? So let's go with that. The first one is Caesar, and well, I'll tell you right now, you're not Caesar. I'm not Caesar. No one is Caesar. I really truly believe that Caesar is not Caesar. After all, Caesar has such a good press corps, has been talked about in such a positive light, even by those who hated him, that I am pretty sure that a good percentage of it is either fabricated or exaggerated. He was a superman. He was super quick. He was a fighter, frontlining his battle, running in with his shield to have people try to save him, acting without an ounce of fear, and he always has the right answer, doesn't he? Like the story where he gets a note during a Senate session and Cato, the big stoic, goes and says, "Come on, read it out loud." It looks like we're in middle school now. And he goes to read it, and it's Cato's sister, writing a love letter to Caesar. Now you tell me, if I told you that story that happened in middle school, you would not believe me. You would call me a tryhard and just move on. And of course, he was a great general, but he is lucky as hell. So many of his wars and battles are won through sheer luck. The whole story of the Gallic Wars is all about relationships between the Gauls and how they were disintegrating right at the time Caesar needed them to. After all, things happened in the span of decades at the time. How lucky could you be that Gaul was so separated and divided just at the right moment? Of course, I'm not saying Caesar isn't real. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're not Caesar. No one is Caesar. Caesar is barely Caesar. So let's move on. Our second triumvir from the first triumvirate is Crassus. And Crassus is kind of 2 characters. Crassus is the vengeful son and the old guy who really thinks he can do stuff that he cannot do. So Crassus is the uncle with a glorious past that now has a really great idea for a startup. But he is also the opportunist. After all, his vengeance is made not through blood and thunder, like, well, probably Caesar would have done. He does it by buying everything. He comes back in Rome during the proscriptions and starts to buy everything that the people who persecuted his family owned. He does also participate in a fair amount of hiring his own people to kill them, but I mean, that's just like the proscriptions. When in Rome, you do as the Romans do, and during the proscriptions, you kill people and buy their stuff. Crassus just does it very well because he bribes everyone to get the stuff at a low price. So are you Crassus? You are Crassus if you are ready to do anything to get vengeance and get rich. Maybe a crypto bro? I don't know. Possibly. Is Logan Paul Crassus? I see a lot of thumbnails around saying he's done, so I don't know, maybe Carrey is coming, but I'm not informed enough to actually know anything. I just see thumbnails. They call them sloptubers. I have no idea. So if you are really aggressive with money, lend it around for favors and, well, are headed for a devastating failure in your late days, that's you being Crassus. But what about Pompey? Pompey is the functional adult. We all want to be Crassus, but we should all want to be Pompey. Pompey is the guy who conquers because he prepares. Pompey is the guy who does the homework. Pompey is the guy who Pompey is the guy who military history nerds like me love, but he is kind of boring. We can all, I think, admit that he can be very boring. He must have been very good at what he was doing because he seems to be persecuted by being unlucky. Every single relationship he has is terrible. He has a very good start in life. I mean, his father gets killed during the proscriptions, but that's neither here nor there. He is the big boss of his family from the beginning, and he is posed for greatness until he starts having successes, and everyone starts saying, well, that Pompey, I mean, he is not that nice, he is not that fun. You know, when you put a lot of effort in everything you do and you have success, but people just don't like you? It's something that I think has happened to most of us, and if it didn't happen to you, well, I personally resent that. Pompey has 5 wives, and well, with some, things went well. With Julia, things went great, the daughter of Julius Caesar. Only she dies, because Pompey is persecuted by luck, meaning he doesn't have it. And even when he has it, he squanders it. Like, well, at the end of his life, during his last conflict with Julius Caesar, where through strategic genius and quite a bit of luck, he has the upper hand. He has won. He got everything. He has Caesar in the palm of his hand, and everyone around him goes, well, that's a pretty cringe way to win. And, well, he feels so bad that he actually fights Caesar and loses. So maybe I was wrong when I said that everyone should want to be Pompey. We should all want to be Pompey, but lucky. And maybe with less daddy issues, trying to find our daddy in the Senate. Please, Daddy Senate, love me. Now, we're gonna keep the real Chad Wolf, the real Chad Triumvir, for last. So now let's go to Antony. Antony is the unprepared guy. Now, I'd say that modern media has made him look worse than he actually was. In HBO Rome, he really looks out of place in power, right? He is this general, this rough commander, and he just doesn't know how to do politics. He just pushes around everyone. And he was brash, but he was also the guy from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, the guy that rouses up the crowd with his oratory, and wasn't military oratory. He was smart. He was a pretty good politician. He just wasn't at the level of everyone else. So you are Antony, I guess, if you have talent but are not at the level yet, and you get pushed on to the forefront of everything and have to do whatever the hell you have to do to try and survive. And I mean, he was the big guy at the time, right? During the second triumvirate, he is the one looming over the others, but he looks like the least prepared of all. He just plays into Octavian's hand all the time. He has these grand ideas of an Eastern reorganization of the Roman Empire that makes no sense and no one in Rome wants or wants to follow. He takes 5 minutes after the end of the old Republican Guard, the people from the old Republic, and starts like calling himself a god, which Octavian does too, but Octavian does it legally with Caesar backing, because Caesar is made a god. Antony just goes for it. He just goes, well, you know what? If you're a son of a god, then I am Dionysus. Why? But he did try. He really, really tried. Even militarily, he tried. He never was at the level of the greats. So maybe Antony is the personification of a Linkin Park song. One of those, I am never enough, I am never good enough for you. And he sings to Caesar, the ghost of Caesar that doesn't even appear to him, it appears to Brutus. Imagine how bad Antony must have felt when he read the testament of Julius Caesar and everything was going to Octavian, and he goes, who? So Octavian is like Pompey without the ability to prepare and organize and strategize. Both want to be recognized as more than they are, but Antony is the one that tries to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, and, well, it doesn't find it in time. No one wants to be Antony, but, well, unless you really want to be with Cleopatra, but that's another story. We can say that if you follow the classical historiography, you want to be Antony because of the girl. Then there is Octavian, Augustus, And of course, one would think anyone would want to be Augustus, right? No! Augustus' life is a nightmare. You are a genius and you are even capable of understanding where your limitations are, and you put people there that are able to do what you cannot do, and you even manage to select them for loyalty so that they kind of become part of you. I have always said in my videos this three-headed dragon that is Augustus. But in the end, on a personal note, your life is kind of sad. You just defeat Antony, and not even in a very glorious way. The Battle of Actium is kind of meh on a glory level. You just strategically enclose your opponent, and then you eat him alive, which is, of course, great. Like, you won the battle. Agrippa was a genius. But it's not really Caesarian, isn't it? And then you go on to start and create this whole balanced situation. As I said, you are a genius, but your genius allows you to see that you need to appear less than you are in order to keep your power and to become more than what you are. So you start like relinquishing powers and having everyone else take the glory for this and that, and you create this whole smoke and mirror situation, and it's beautiful on a strategic level. But on a personal level, I don't know how much he must have liked it. That wasn't really Caesarian, and I can imagine Caesar really enjoyed his life. Plus, there's the thing that your wife kind of tries to kill your children, or like your adopted children and the children of your friend, and we don't really know if she did, but it kind of looked like she did. And you have health problems your whole life. You're persecuted by anxiety about who is going to succeed you, because your genius allows you to see that if no one does, if things are not prepared, everything is going to crumble down. So you are persecuted by your own mind, your own body, your own family. It's a disaster. No one wants to be Augustus, but I truly believe a lot of us are or have to be, because Augustus is the one who keeps things together, right? In friend groups, in, I don't know, politics. So who do you want to be? Who is the Chad Wolf in the wolf pack of the six Triumvirs in this stupid idea of the two wolves turn six? The man, the legend, the glorious bastard who actually did it. Lepidus. Marcus Aemilius Lepidus. Lepidus is the behind-the-scene man who never gets a break on the public eye. I mean, Lepidus is the third one, is the guy that they use, right? But I believe he was using them because he knew that there was only one way to win the Roman Civil War, and that is to enjoy yourself. With Caesar, he worked with him, he collaborated with him, having a good friendship. He was Magister Equitum, he's master of the horse. But when Caesar gets killed, he has a legion in Rome. Lepidus is in command of a legion in Rome. And well, probably he could get the assassins, but he goes, nah, why? I mean, I'm sure someone else will do it. I can just wait. Why would I put myself in the line of fire? Then he aligns with Antony, who makes him Pontifex Maximus, like the highest religious role in Rome, like Caesar was, but doesn't really do much to help Antony. So he doesn't pay him back, really. He does so little that when Octavian and Antony have to come to terms to create the Triumvirate, he can put himself in the middle to guarantee that everyone is going to play above board. So Octavian can trust him to be the facilitator. He is in the perfect position at all times. Now, he gets Africa, right? He gets Africa out of the Triumvirate. And everyone goes, oh, he gets the worst part. He gets pushed to the side, but he does not care. Why? He is fine. He is living his life. During the Battle of Philippi, he just stands guarding Rome. I'm staying home. I'm having a wine. Enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna have a blast. Then he fights against Sextus Pompey, the son of Pompey, in Sicily. He kinda gets Sicily, but his troops abandon him because his troops are going like, "You're doing nothing. We are getting no loot here." And Lepidus goes, "Well, all right. I'm going in my beautiful villa on Circeo, a beautiful hill in Rome, and I'm gonna remain Pontifex Maximus anyway, so you cannot get rid of me. I am gonna have fun until the end, and I have no responsibility. I am great. I'm doing fantastic." And you know what? For doing so little, Lepidus had his face on the coins during the Triumvirate period. He has his name in history forever. Lepidus lived a calm life with, well, limited participation in some battles, but I mean, who wouldn't want Lepidus' life? It's the best. It's the absolute best between the six wolves. It is all of the payoff with very little of the suffering. So in the end, tomorrow, when you wake up and you think about the six triumvirs looking at you from the night sky, and you're trying to choose who you want to be, maybe the slacker isn't such a bad idea. You have to be well positioned. You have to have good friends. You have to be friends with Caesar. You have to kind of be a good commander. You have to, work a little bit, but then you get to slack off the rest of your life, and isn't that the dream? Or I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So yeah, there are six triumvirs inside of you, and none of them are mentally healthy. So let me know which one you are, or please rant at me on how wrong I am about any of these characters. Please do. I do have whole videos about most of them, Caesar in particular, but I have one about Pompey, one about Crassus. I have 3 about the rise of Augustus, where Antony and Lepidus are. I'd say I didn't work on Lepidus a lot, so my bad. So if you want something with actual history, I'd go there. Thank you, and see you on the next Unscripted. Bye bye.